Welcome back, guys. Now, the other day I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about some of the challenges of dating once you've crossed 40 and some of the things that we've been up against, and this quest to find love when you're a woman of a certain age. So let's delve into it. Some of the things that I face dating in my 40s is, oh yes, I know, I don't look 40, thank you. It's God's blessing, His grace, and good genes. So some of the issues that I face dating in my 40s is the fact that a lot of my age group, men in my age group, are married. Just make sure my mic's there. Can you hear me, guys? So yeah, a lot of the men in my age group are already married, or I've come to realize that, they may not be married. Some of them say they've got kids and they don't want more. And it's like, of course, there's no way I can go into a relationship with a man who says he's got kids and he doesn't want more kids, especially when I'm still capable, very capable of having my own kids. And want kids. That really would not be the ideal situation for me, and I wouldn't even consider going into that kind of relationship to begin with. The other thing that I face is that I meet a lot of younger men. I'm talking about men in their early 30s, mid 30s. And the problem with that age group is that they're nowhere near ready. They're not even considering being in a committed relationship, let alone talk about marriage. Like, you must be like, I've got so many more years ahead of me, and they've still want to make a lot of money. They still want to do this and that and the other, so the idea of marriage or the concept of marriage is very far from them. For me, the major issue that I'm up against is the fact that a lot of the men that I meet, that I feel maybe we have a connection, are much younger than me. They don't really mind that I'm, much older than them. But of course, the issue of commitment and long-term, and where is the relationship going? What direction is it going? When do you think about settling down? How far along in a relationship would you start to talk about the future, kids, being in a long-term committed relationship with someone who probably maybe does not see marriage and kids with you. I think that's the major thing. Dating has never been a problem for me. I think just as I got older, I was more selfish with my time. I was more protective of my space, and mental health these days is one of the most important things for most of us, because of what's going on in the world. You don't want to expose yourself to anything that will compound things, in my opinion, because there's already so much going on, and you need to be selfish with your space. So the concept of just going out on so many dates and testing the waters does not really appeal to me, but it's just something that you have to do, but be very selective. So yeah, the issues that I found with dating in my 40s is just the age of the guys that approach me, the fact that a lot of people in my age group are already married. There are a few of them that are divorced and are separated, but they're very few and far between. And then there's some of them who are divorced and separated, and they do not want to have any more kids. They're done. They don't want they're not entertaining the idea of waking up in the middle of the night, changing diapers, feeding a crying baby, once they're in their 40s, thinking because they've already done that, they've been there, they don't want to go through that whole ordeal all over again, in their 40s. And, because I'm in my 40s, I'm in my early 40s. So obviously I'm looking to date people in their early 40s. Well, it's good for me. Mid 40s, I don't want to go above mid 40s. But you realize that age group, you know, they already had a family, or they already have kids who are like probably maybe pre-teens, you know. So it's tricky. Not that there aren't potential shall I say, potential husbands out there. It's just, it's gonna take a bit of digging. You get me? But yeah, we were just having this conversation, and I was like, maybe it's something that I would like to talk about. You know, dating in your 40s. When I used to write for Bella Niger, I did talk about dating once you hit 30 and what it was like, because of the society that we come from, the African society. They expect you, once you hit a certain age, to have had your children, to have settled down. And then once you've crossed that age, it's almost as if you've been relegated to the sidewalk, you've been left on the shelf. I think it's very important that you don't let those things get to you. You don't let those things affect you. You don't buy into those things, because love happens at different times for us all. Going through life being like, oh, you should have done this by now, you should have been here by now, it will just affect you and cripple your mind and affect your self-esteem. I'm not going to go through life, you know, carrying that type of burden in my mind. No. So, yeah, so it's interesting to have heard my friend speak up about this. And I was like, yeah, it's something that I'd like to talk about. You know, what do you guys think? Are you at a certain age and you feel you could have found love early and settled down and been married with kids, and it hasn't happened yet? This topic doesn't concern just people in their 40s. You could be, as far as you're at a ripe old age where you can actually make your own mind up, you're mature enough and you're mentally ready to make that type of long-term commitment, and it hasn't happened yet. This topic is for you. How do you feel that you're at a certain age and you have not settled down, or you have not found the love of your life, or you're still in the dating field, you know, looking for the one? How does that make you feel? And what are the streets saying to you? What are your options? Anyway, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace to you.